Welcome to Swim Easy Speed. Today we're going to look at an age grouper that came in right before the Houston half full marathon and wanted to jump in the endless pool and see if we could take a look at his stroke. He comes from a running background. The first thing we see is, he looks pretty good. Back end's a little bit low. And we've talked about this before in the endless pool. The current kind of running like this is going to push the back end down. Now, if it goes down a lot, kind of like this, then it's usually an indication that the core is not engaged enough. Either the core is not engaged enough or the lower body's not connected enough to the core. So then that back end gets pushed down. He's got a fairly decent stroke. It looks like there's a pretty good connection between his lower body and his upper body, so the kick and the pull. You can see here, the elbow's dropping a little bit. That has to do with this body position, though, in the water. That's, basically forcing him to effectively just press down on the water instead of pulling himself forward. So we kind of go down. You get to see what the back end there looked like a little bit. And then, here we've got a little bit of that kind of classic right there. So if we figure midline is right. Whoops. Figure midline's probably right about there. He's pretty close to crossing over. It's enough where you'd want to work on that. But a lot of what's driving this is, just that kind of lack of core engagement, which is not allowing him to. As you can see here, it just looks like he's pulling a lot from his shoulders, not from his whole body. So we want to try to move that back into the core. So here's what he looks like up above. You can see there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of movement kind of like that through the water. Feet are coming way apart. That's always to balance, kind of stabilize in the water. So the first thing we did was kick with the brick. And we had to go through it a couple times so you can see he's really kicking from, his legs look pretty stiff. One leg is a little bit better than the other. We went through a couple rounds of it. I was giving him cues in between, really trying to get him to engage that core. And, the brick being a weighted kickboard is really forcing that engagement and where he doesn't really have much of a choice. And then we kick faster, and that forces the core to engage too. You can already see his back end starting to come up. And then here's what we got to after that. You can see he's holding a much better line down the middle of the pool, down the middle of his body. And then here's the difference between the before and after. So, even the little bit of a crossover sort of resolved. We still got some more work to do on it, but that was our session. So, as always, thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the pool soon.